Hello guys, this is Amol Khedkar. I welcome you to this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about what exactly is fiat money. We all use this kind of money every day in our lives all over the world, but many people might not even know what exactly this means. So I will discuss everything about fiat money in this video, what exactly are the advantages and disadvantages, and why I think we should get rid of the fiat money as soon as possible. So please don't forget to watch this video right till the end, and also don't forget to subscribe so that you can get daily updates about various macroeconomics and geopolitical topics on a daily basis. So let's get started. So what exactly is fiat money? So, fiat money is government issued currency that is not backed by a physical commodity such as gold or silver, but rather by the government that issued it. The value of fiat money is derived from the relationship between supply and demand and the stability of the issuing government, rather than worth of a commodity backing it, as is the case for commodity money. So, gold and silver, these are actual commodities. But the money that you and me use, may it be in India, in Canada, in America, or anywhere in the rest of the world, it's paper currency. It is not backed by anything. It is just based on trust. So, what fiat means is that, it's a Latin term which says that let it be. So, it's like the government says it is money, that's why we believe that it is money, and it is all based on faith. So, when you give money, like say 10 rupees or $10 to another person, then that person believes that the value of this paper is 10 rupees or $10, and that's why he accepts it. So, the instant people stop believing in the money, this entire fiat money system will collapse, and we will have to do something else because this is not backed by anything. It's just based on trust. Most modern paper currencies are fiat currencies, including the US dollar, the euro, and other major global currencies, as I just said. So, if we look further, fiat money is a government issued currency that isn't backed by a commodity such as gold. Fiat money gives central banks greater control over the economy because they can control how much money is printed. So the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank of America at this point, they are literally printing trillions and trillions of dollars every day. I have a video on this channel which is titled as "Printing More Money Will Destroy World Economy." Look at that video and you will understand what exactly I mean. So they are just printing fiat money and they are flooding the market with this kind of money. But once the market realizes that this money does not have any value, hyperinflation will ensue in America, and even the cost of daily commodities will rise through the roof. So, this is what is happening in all the so called developed countries like Canada, America, Australia. Even Germany, France, and Britain. But this will not go. This just cannot go on for too long. That's just my honest opinion. So, most modern paper currencies, such as the US dollar, are fiat currencies. One danger of fiat money is that governments will print too much of it, resulting in hyperinflation. Absolutely true. You can see right now, all the central banks in the so called Western economies or the developed economies are printing money left and right, and they are not answerable to anybody, even not the government, because the central banks are an independent entity, but they are printing trillions and trillions of dollars. I mean, people don't understand how many zeros are there in $1 trillion. Okay, it's a huge amount of money, and many people have not even seen $1 million in or a 1 million rupees in their lifetime. But when you are literally saying trillions and trillions of rupees or trillions and trillions of dollars are printed by the central banks on a daily basis and they are just put into the market, which will cause hyperinflation, because that will literally just start increasing the prices of commodities as if there's no tomorrow. So, how fiat money works? Let's try to understand that. Fiat money only has value because the government maintains that value, or because two parties in a transaction agree on its value. Absolutely correct. The government maintains this value by manipulating the currency exchange rate, or because two parties in a transaction agree on its value. As I told you before, because you give the other person 10 rupees and that guy agrees that the value of this paper is 10 rupees, that's why the transaction becomes successful. Historically, governments would mint coins out of a valuable physical commodity such as gold, silver, or print paper money that could be redeemed for a set amount of a physical commodity. Fiat money is inconvertible and cannot be redeemed. So fiat money just cannot be redeemed. That's the crux of this madness. That's why earlier this fiat money was backed by gold or silver, but right now it is just completely off guard, and they can print any amount of money and nobody will be able to stop them from doing that. The word fiat comes from the Latin and is often translated as the decree it shall be or let it be done. So, because the government says that this is real money, that's why you and me believe that it is real money, and then we go and transact with it. Because fiat money is not linked to physical reserves, such as a national stockpile of gold or silver, it risks losing value due to inflation or even becoming worthless in the event of hyperinflation. Hyperinflation has occurred throughout history in many countries, and in my honest opinion, America, Canada, and many other Western countries will be seeing hyperinflation very soon because they are literally printing money as if there's no tomorrow. If people lose faith in a nation's currency, the money will no longer hold value. Absolutely true. That differs from currency backed by gold. For example, it has intrinsic value because of the demand for gold in jewelry and decoration, as well as the manufacture of electronic devices, computers, and aerospace vehicles. So, gold is real money. Gold is something that has been used in the world economy for thousands and thousands of years, and it has never left its value. So that's why gold is something that everybody should really aspire to do. And to be honest with you, I come from Indian culture, so in my culture, um, gold is something that is accumulated by many people on many different occasions, like marriages or even family functions and things like that. So gold is real money. Even the rupee that RBI generates, Reserve Bank of India generates, that is paper money, that is fiat money. It is not backed by gold. There was something called Nixon shock that happened in 1971 when President of America Richard Nixon, he took off the US dollar from the gold backed standard, and after then, since then, many all the currencies in the entire world are fiat currencies. So, special considerations. The US dollar is considered to be both fiat money and legal tender accepted for private and public debts. Legal tender is basically any currency that a government declares to be legal. Many governments issue a fiat currency, then make it legal tender by setting it as the standard for debt repayment. Earlier in US history, the country's currency was backed by gold and in some cases silver. The federal government stopped allowing citizens to exchange currency for government gold with the passage of the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. The gold standard, which backed US currency with federal gold, ended completely in 1971 when the US also stopped issuing gold to foreign governments in exchange for US currency. This was the end of gold backed currencies. Since 1971, all the currencies in the entire world are backed by absolutely nothing. So you might remember when 500 and 1000 rupee notes were banned in India. Those notes were seen lying on the Ganga river or in many parts of India. Why is that? Because that money has lost value now. That is not legal tender anymore. So that is what fiat currency means. It is not backed by anything. If those 500 rupees notes were backed by gold, then you could have gone to the government and you could have told them that this is my money and just give me the equivalent amount of gold for 500 rupees. But that just will not happen, and that did not happen as well when demonetization happened in India, because it is not backed by anything. Since that time, US dollars are known to be backed by the full faith and credit of the US government. Legal tender for all debts, public and private, but not redeemable in lawful money at the United States Treasury or at any Federal Reserve Bank, as printing on US dollar bills used to claim. So these US dollar bills used to be, they can be, they were used to be reclaimed at either the US Treasury or at any of the Federal Reserve Bank before 1971. But since 1971, they cannot be redeemed anywhere. They are just plain paper, and if the government keeps on printing that money, then at one point that plain paper will just be absolutely worthless. So in this sense, US dollars are now legal tender rather than lawful money, which can be exchanged for gold, silver, or any other commodity. Advantages and disadvantages of fiat money. Advantages. Fiat money serves as a good currency if it can handle the roles that a nation's economy needs of its monetary unit, storing value, providing a numerical account, and facilitating exchange. It also has excellent seigniorage. Seigniorage is another term that I will not go into deep into this video, but I will make another video to explain what exactly is seigniorage. But that just means that the amount of money that the government requires to print a note. So say it's like a 10 rupee note, and the government for it to print that kind of money, it just requires say 10 paisa, okay. But it tells the people that this is like a 10 rupee note. So that difference between 10 paisa and 10 rupee is what is called a seigniorage, and that's why the seigniorage is what the government gains out of printing money, out of the power that it has by of printing money. Fiat currencies gained prominence in the 20th century in part because governments and central banks sought to insulate their economies from the worst effects of the national booms and busts of the business cycle. Since fiat money is not a scarce or fixed resource like gold, central banks have much greater control over its supply, which gives them the power to manage economic variables such as credit supply, liquidity, interest rates, and money velocity. I will discuss all these concepts in the upcoming videos. For instance, the US Federal Reserve has the dual mandate to keep unemployment and inflation low. Disadvantages. The mortgage crisis of 2007 and subsequent financial meltdown, however, tempered the belief that central banks could necessarily prevent depressions or serious recessions by regulating the money supply. A currency tied to gold, for example, is generally more stable than fiat money because of the limited supply of gold. Absolutely true. If tomorrow India issues a currency which is entirely backed by gold, the entire world will start linking its currency to the Indian rupee. That is just a plain fact, because if a currency is backed by gold, then the world has much more faith into it, rather than it not being backed by anything. There are more opportunities for the creation of bubbles with fiat money due to its unlimited supply. Absolutely true. There was the housing bubble in 2008. Right now, it was the corporate debt bubble that burst in the coronavirus madness. And as I've always said, coronavirus is just an excuse that these governments are using to point finger and just shift the blame from them. But coronavirus did not cause this stock market meltdown. It was caused by the fiat money and the unlimited supply of fiat money. And right now they are doing the exact opposite of what needs to be done. They are spending money left and right, and that will just exacerbate the crisis. Example of fiat money. The African nation of Zimbabwe provided an example of the worst case scenario in the early 2000s. In response to serious economic problems, the country's central bank began to print money at a staggering pace. That resulted in hyperinflation, which ran between 230 and 500 billion% in 2008. Hyperinflation, which ran between 230 and 500 billion% in 2008. Can you imagine that? Prices rose rapidly, and consumers were forced to carry bags of money just to purchase basic staples. People literally carried money in carts for purchasing a loaf of bread. That's how insane it was. At the height of the crisis, 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollar was worth about 40 cents in US currency. So that is what fiat money does. If you print fiat money too much, then that is just going to collapse your entire economy of that nation. People will literally starve to death because they will not have enough money to even buy the basic commodities, and that is exactly what I think is going to happen in the near future in most of these so-called developed countries, because they're printing money as if there's no tomorrow. And just wait for 2 years, just a couple of years, and there will be hyperinflation, because that money right now it is into the economy, right? And it will take time to circulate into the economy and have its effects into the economy. So I have also done an MBA in finance, so I have learned these kind of concepts very deeply. So I can assure you that by the end of this year or by the start of next year, the inflation will just keep on rising in America and Canada and most of the developed countries. The good thing about India and China is that India and China central banks did not print a whole lot of money. They gave stimulus to their people, but not like too much, because these economies they save too much. Okay, so people really had the rainy day fund for them to go through this crisis, but not in America or in Canada. Those people are literally living paycheck to paycheck. 80 to 85% of the people in America and Canada live paycheck to paycheck, so they didn't have any kind of money saved for their rainy day fund. So, my honest prediction is that if you really want to hear the truth and nothing but the truth, hyperinflation is coming to America and to Canada and most of the Western countries as early as possible, because they are printing money left and right, and nobody knows how exactly this is going to end. So I will stop talking here. If you like my analysis of this, if you learn something new about fiat money and this, and if you, I know many people might not even know this concept, but I really wanted to get it out there and let you guys know what exactly is fiat money. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like these. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.